Sonny Donnelly, IFL TV in association with Macklins Gym Marbella. I'm at Upton Park today for the Kevin Mitchell retirement dinner. I'm with none other than Eddie Hearn. He's moving as far away from the West Ham badge as he possibly could.
So that's the first time I've ever been at Upton Park
And the
in my whole life.
as well, probably.
But yeah, it will be.
Gutted?
What, about what? Being at Upton Park? Oh,
It's shutting down.
no, not really. The Olympic Stadium's going to affect the O's, isn't it? But that's another story.
The O. The famous O.
What's wrong with O's?
Well, you know, League 2 or something?
Are you West Ham?
Yeah, home and away. Proper.
Through and through, yeah? The drip claret and blue.
Yeah, proper. Cut me. No.
Right, mate.
But yeah. Dag them boys. Yeah, Kevin Mitchell retirement dinner. You've had a lot of fights with him. What's it like to see a legend like this go?
It's good, you know. I think that the one thing about Kevin is that, and I think one of the most impressive things, which probably not a lot of people know about, is that after the Barroso fight, somehow I managed to get him a shot at the European title. And normally you can't fight for the European title after one defeat, but he was coming off 2 defeats. And Ricky Burns was the next in line. He had other plans than to fight Tatley in Finland, and Kevin stepped in. I got Kevin the fight. It was for a lot of money as well. And I knew after the Barroso fight, because he had problems in the camp for the Barroso fight. No excuses, he was beaten by the better man on the night, but you know, when I got in the Tatley fight, in my mind, I was thinking, this is a nice little retirement fight for him. He's still got the ability to beat someone like Tatley, but whatever happens, it's another big chunk of money, and that can go towards, you know, the end of the career. So he started the camp, and then after about 3 or 4 weeks, he just phoned me up and he said, I can't do it. You know, I was like, yeah, but Kev, take the fight, mate. Take the money. Do you know what I mean? You can finish. You can retire after this fight. He went, my heart's not in it anymore, Ed. He said, I just can't do it. I said, and as soon as he said that, I said, then you're done. But it's quite strange for a fighter to do that. Do you know what I mean? Most fighters will think, they'll just keep it quiet.
Yeah.
You know, they'll know that they're not, the timing's not there. He said that he was going up to GB, he was just getting hit by, you know, all the GB kids were coming in. And
I was watching it.
Yeah, he just said that, you know, he'd come home, I'd say, hey, how'd you get on? He'd drive home from Sheffield, he'd say, I got whiplash. And you know, he had a few injuries, and he was very honest with himself. And honest probably with the fans and people around him, and that's quite unusual. And you know, it's good to see someone leave the sport on their own accord. You know, he could have gone to Finland and got knocked out, and it might have been horrible to see. But you know, this is a sport that once you leave it, that's it. That's your really the only thing you know, your only source of income taken away from you. So for me, I want him to leave with as much as possible. But you know, he wants to operate at the highest level, and I think if he can't operate at the highest level, then he didn't want to be in it, and that's the decision he made. He could still fight now. He could win British titles, you know, European titles. But I think he made the decision, and once his heart's not in it anymore, you know, and he's a massive character, Kevin Mitchell, and I wish we would have got hold of him earlier. You know, we've only picked him up in the last 3 or 4 years of his career. You know, we got him a world title shot, an interim world title shot. You know, he could have beat Linares that night if it weren't for the eye injury. And I remember sitting in a sauna with Kevin Mitchell at Next Generation Gym in Romford, which was a gym.
Was you plugging the gym there, yeah?
No, I don't think it even existed. My dad had a gym in Romford, and I used to go to the gym there on the corner. And we was in there, and he weren't even training for a fight. And he was in there with all his pals. And I remember going into the sauna. I don't even think I told him this. And I was about 16, 17. And I guess he was about, no, maybe I was like 18, 19. He was about the same age. And he was so trappy. Like, you wouldn't believe it. And I was listening to the conversation. And I couldn't believe that. And people used to tell me about
Just before we start this, boys, we're talking about Kevin when he was younger, being a bit trappy. Son, what do you remember of him?
Fucking hell. I still remember
you might be there.
very trappy.
You remember that gym on the corner?
No, Glen Harris is sweet. But yeah,
But I remember. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I remember sitting there and thinking. People used to tell me about Kevin Mitchell, and he used to say, "Oh, he's a right party boy. You know, he's Larry, he's this." And I was sitting in the sauna, and I was listening to him. And I was thinking, he's a nightmare, this kid. And he must have been like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
But it takes some people a little bit longer in life to realise what life's all about. Do you Do you know what I mean? And what I mean, how old are you?
18 in
Right,
2 weeks.
well, you ain't got a clue. What you think's important now, no, I'm just not being disrespectful. In 5 or 6 years' time, your mindset will be completely different. And in another 5 or 6 years' time, it'll be completely different again. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes you get with a bird when you're younger, and she's not the girl for you when you're in your late 20s or early 30s. You know what I mean? And with Kevin, it was only when he got to late 20s or, you know, that he realised what was important to him in his life, and that was providing for his kids and succeeding in boxing. But by then, it's not that it was too late, it was just that he missed a lot of that opportunity. And that's because I believe that perhaps the right people weren't around him, or he didn't have the guidance, or maybe he was just unsavable at that time. That's a possibility as well. But since he's linked up with Tony and me, and again, maybe it was just because he just grew up. Do you know what I mean? Just realised that this is what I want to do. And ever since I've looked after him, he's dedicated his whole life to the sport. You know, he's been really, really disciplined. He ain't messed around at all.
No, I've seen it firsthand.
I know. Yeah. And he always says, I wish I would have got with you earlier. But mate, like I said, maybe he was unsavable when he was earlier in his life, you know?
You never know, we'll never know.
No, but what we do know is he's made a good living, he's got a big future in the sport. I hope that he continues to train fighters, because he's such a clever boxing man.
I've seen him with Hearn in the gym.
I know, fantastic. But you know, it's very difficult to leave the sport and then go straight in as a trainer. You've got to, once you leave the sport, you've got to really give yourself a chance to understand what you want to do in life. I think to go straight into it, and I think it will take him a little while to realise what he wants to do.
We were just saying, do you think Kev was savable?
How long have you known Kev?
In his 25?
Oh, since I've been 9.
Have you?
10, yeah.
I told a story. Remember the gym on the corner in Romford by Hollywood's? Was it Fitness First or Next Generation?
Yeah, Fitness First.
Fitness First. I went in there once. People used to tell me about Kevin Mitchell. I was this good boxer from Dagenham, Kevin Mitchell. And I went in the sauna one day, and he was in there with all his pals, and I was listening to him, and I thought, what? You know what I mean?
It's true.
He was probably 18 or 19
Yeah, you're right.
at the time. I know. But I said, it's only when he got in his late 20s that this is Pagey, by the way, best mate.
Gary Pagey.
Yeah. But when he realised what was important in his life.
Yeah, of course he did.
But we don't know whether that was because he didn't have the right people around him, or he was just unsavable.
He didn't have the right people around him.
Yeah, but he might have been unsavable at the time.
It's just going on the internet.
Yeah.
Can I say something about someone?
Well,
Oh dear. I do think that was coming as soon
I
as
don't
you
think
said
you'll
that.
be putting that in, Sonny, but you'll get told off by Coogan. But no, you know, I think you know, I've got a lot of time for. You're not going to meet people in boxing that don't speak unbelievable words about Kevin Mitchell. So we've got to go now anyway. So
One more question.
Yeah.
A quote that your dad said. I think we've got a while anyway. I'll give Eddie the silver spoon and he turned it into gold. I mean, I love that tweet as he said it. But when he tweeted something like that, what did you feel? Obviously, because
we take the piss out of each other. You got to understand. It's like I've been brought up by a working class council estate man in my dad, and I'm not that person. Do you know what I mean? I was never brought up that way, but what I've been brought up with is a working class mentality and how to work my nuts off. But you don't always get to see that, that's fine. But he takes the piss out of me all the time, my dad. He calls me Silver Spoon Boy. So like he'll say, you know, like, oh, yeah, I'll see you was on the fucking, you had a plane, do you know what I mean? A fucking Silver Spoon mug. Like, it was just, but he knows how hard I work at the same time. So we've got a very strange relationship, but best mates, really. But he'll mug me off all the time. You know, you was just a little Silver Spoon, soft public schoolboy, little, come on, you know. So, but no, it's he's proud of what we're doing in boxing, and you know, I'm proud of my dad, because when you look back at his life, and probably the only regret I've got, might sound strange, is that I never got the chance to work from nothing. Do you know what I mean? To see what I could have done. I might not have done anything. I believe that I would have been successful anyway. But I've got a good start, but I feel like I've taken the business to another level. So I'm doing my job, and that's what he means by that tweet. But you know, I can't ever tell you, listen, mate, I'm from the streets. You know, I've grafted from nothing. I've built my own empire, because I haven't. But you can only play the hand you're dealt in life. And no, you know, you can't moan. You just got to play that hand.
Played it well, yeah.
Well, at the moment, anything can happen. But at the moment, we're doing all right.
You're doing alright, and long may it continue, because obviously I'll never hate on anyone's success, and it's great what you're doing. But Eddie Hearn, I'll let you crack on, because I know some of your fighters are talking on stage now. But thank you very much for coming to IFL TV. Enjoy your night, and I'm sure I'll catch up with you soon. Irons!